Hello, welcome to the stream, and let me not forget my background music this time. I'll put that on right now. So, because it is warm and my brain is melting and dribbling out through my ears as some sort of grey goo, as it were, we're going to do something a little bit easier today. We're not going to play an RPG, we are going to play a... let's turn that down a little bit. We're going to play a card game. But before that, since I do have you here with the desk cam, let's quickly show off some RPG arrivals that came over the last couple of days. As it seems to be Kickstarter season, Kickstarter fulfillment season. So the first thing is Osric. So this is one of the like old OSR retro clones. This is of AD&D. And yeah, as you can see, it is a landscape book, which is somewhat unusual, although not unheard of. I do have another landscape RPG book. I have White Hack 3rd edition, which is another OSR system, and I think the landscape format works quite well for it, because it's got pretty good layouts, and you can see four columns of text at a time. So I was interested by the Osric one when I saw it. I've got the landscape version. There is also a portrait version, because many people were like, oh my god, a landscape book? That's disgusting. And so the creator had to do a portrait version as well. I've not really had a chance to look through it yet. I've only had the PDFs, and I've got the portrait PDFs because I normally run games off a portrait monitor. So portrait PDFs are good for that. But I do like landscape books, so I'm looking forward to kind of getting into this. And I picked this up because I ran a 3-year campaign of a mega dungeon in which I drew heavily from the Osric rules. So after kind of 2 years of that using the free version of Osric, I thought I should probably give these people some money. And at that time they announced this Kickstarter or backer kit, whatever it was, for 3rd edition. There is also a GM screen, but it's kind of just on card. It's a little bit flimsy compared to most of my GM screens, but still kind of nice to have, I suppose. So that's one thing that arrived recently. Another thing that arrived recently is that's upside down. The Singularity campaign for Traveller. So this is a big box set. It's got 3 books in here and a 4th book, which was like a stretch goal that they didn't fit in the box set. It would be nice if they did, but this is a campaign about AI, the cool sci-fi sort, not the dull generative sort. So again, I've not really looked through this much. I've only skimmed through the PDFs, but looking forward to getting involved in it, as Traveller is one of my favourite RPGs. So yes, that's just a couple of recent arrivals, and now let's actually do some Doom Pilgrim, which is what we're here for today. So, Doom Pilgrim. It's not an RPG, really. It's a card game with kind of RPG elements, and it comes in this kind of cool little box thing with a little clip that works quite nicely, and kind of it's got all the rules on the box, which is quite nice. And it has this deck of somewhat impractically large cards. They're about the size of a hand. And essentially, in this game, you are a pilgrim. You're trying to get from A to B. Mechanically, we're trying to get through the deck, or through a subset of the deck. And terrible things will happen to us along the way. So we will determine how many cards we want to use. There's some suggestions for like how hardcore you're feeling. The kind of easy version of the game is to only use 45 cards, which is half of this deck. That's still pretty hard. I think I managed to complete a run of Doom Pilgrim once, and never again. But essentially the way it works is every turn we will draw 3 cards from the top. And they have this weird art on. And we have to pick one of these cards to discard. We'll just return it to the box. Let's say this one. We pick one card to put on the bottom of the deck, let's say this one, and then we turn over the remaining card, so this one, and do what it says. And we just have to judge from the art. So this is kind of interesting game in that there is an element of skill to it. Like, as you play more Doom Pilgrim, you will learn what cards are good, and you'll start to kind of come up with a strategy, because there are certain cards that are better to have later in the game. And so if you encounter such a card earlier in the game, you might decide to put it to the bottom of the deck in the hopes that when you get it, it will be a more appropriate situation. As I've only played a couple of times, I don't really know which cards are good and which cards are bad, so it's probably not going to go very well for us. I also have this expansion, Doom Deeper. It comes with 3 little sets of cards: Futile Havens, which makes the game a little bit easier, Fatal Ends, which makes the game a bit harder, and Pagan Echoes, which is just some more like thematic cards. So we'll probably introduce at least one of these, and these are distinguished by, we got the little symbol here in the corner telling us what's what. So we've got here, so this one is, let's check the pictures. This one is Fatal Ends with the kind of skeletal hand symbol. Yep, looks very fatal. Then we've got Futile Havens with the kind of little like house icon. Also does not look amazing, but you never know. Don't judge a book by its cover. And we have the Pagan Echoes with the kind of swirly icon. This looks like someone getting sacrificed, which feels pagan to me. There's kind of a character sheet available on the website, but we don't really need it. We're just going to keep track of some things, which I'll jot down on this piece of paper here. So essentially, we win the game by cycling through the entire deck of cards, or subset of the deck if we don't start with the whole thing. And there are many ways in which we can lose. We will lose if we take 5 wounds. We will lose if we lose both eyes, both legs, or both hands in one go. We will lose if we get 3 diseases of any type, so leprosy, for instance. We will lose if we get 3 curses of any type. And we will lose if we have 3 psychic drops of the same type. And a psychic drop is these kind of like somewhat freeform mental conditions like fear or fatigue, or I think mind disruption is one. And we can have lots and lots of these as long as you don't have 3 points in a single one. So there isn't really like a strategy, I guess, beyond playing this enough that you remember which cards are good and which cards are bad. The cards do have they are like fairly narrative. They describe like a situation you've arrived in. So here we have let's see, this one is the Split City. Only a narrow bridge over the bottomless pit connects 2 parts of the old city. Acceptance awaits you in one part, doom in the other. But into which one have you just come? Astrological constellations decide. Is it an odd day or an even day of the month today? It is currently an even day, and then we have something for odd days and something for even days. So they all have a little bit of story in them, which tells us, what's going on, and so we can build a narrative out of it, even if it's not a terribly narrative game. So I think I'm leaning towards being a poor worm, as it says. So I'm only going to use 45 cards, which is, still quite hard. Hee hee. That's the difficulty. So I'll pick 45 cards out of here. This is probably fairly well shuffled, so I'll just take the top 45. And then I will also mix in, let's say, I don't think I've played with Fatal Ends yet, because the game is hard enough as it is. I'm going to include this. And then when we inevitably lose quickly, we may include, like swap out what we're doing. So let's just shove these aside. And if you want to backseat at any time, if you're like, the middle card looks very friendly, please do go ahead. Let's just get 45 of these. A downside of this game is the cards are very big. Like, it's kind of hard to to shuffle them. Like, but as I said, they're probably pretty shuffled already. But we may need to shuffle mid-game. All right. $10. 20. 30. 40. I guess we'll just add these in, and that's, a bit over 45 cards. Right, we'll put that one over here. This is my high-tech camera disabler that I use at the start of streams, and when I put my BRB thing up. Okay, let's try to mix all these in. I'll just spread them around and then like shuffle. Okay, how many of these have we got? I like this guy. Okay, evenly distributed, which means they're perfectly random. No, it doesn't. Okay, let's shuffle these a little bit. Okay. So we just have to make our way through this minuscule, this tiny deck of cards, and we will win. So let's put that here, and we take our first 3 cards. So we have a sort of town or village looking thing. We have someone being knighted beneath a tree. I think I remember this one. I think this is a good one. Unless it's another knighting related card I'm thinking of. And here we have a it's like a tower. Yeah, like a tower on a hill with a little path leading up to it, in a pretty barren looking place. So the art on all these cards is really cool, and yeah, really helps set the atmosphere of the game. It's like we're traveling through this horrible, desolate land where terrible things happen. But I think I'm going to so from past experience, villages and towns usually need money to do things. We don't have any money yet, so I'm going to put this at the bottom of the deck. I think I'm going to keep this one. This is going to be my one I turn over. I think being knighted is good. Unless I'm thinking of another card. So this will be the one we discard, even though this one looks pretty okay. So we'll just put that one, there. Let's turn this one over and see what we get. Knighted under the dead tree, you've become Sir. Now only to find your lady and manor. A horse might be useful too. At least it would take you faster away from this place where self-proclaimed kings make knights of vagrant strangers. This place is ill, so hurry on before it becomes something worse than Sir. So I am now Sir of the Dead Tree. And I have acquired a psychic drop of Mind Disruption 1. So we've set off on this pilgrimage from where I don't know to where I also don't know. Not sure how long we've been traveling, but at some point we kind of pass through this place where this guy knighting us doesn't even have a crown or anything. Some reasonably lordly looking person, I suppose, just proclaims that we are going to be their knight, and they knight us under this dead tree. Let's put that over there. And let's put our... Okay, so we'll have our discarded cards there, and our played cards there. And let's turn this a little bit. There we go. Okay. Alright. This looks bad. Oh, this guy looks bad. The food looks okay. I'm feeling mixed about this one. This one, I don't know. This one, I think this card is about hellhounds. We've got like a guy in in like a bondage mask with a whip and some dogs in poor condition. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one, so let's discard that. And I'm not sure which of these two is better. I think center looks okay. Okay, let's go for this, and we'll put this guy at the bottom of the deck, so we'll encounter him later. Werehawks. You've never heard about creatures like this, but it does not make them less real. Their beaks are sharp, and they seem not to understand human language, or they just do not want to understand when you try to negotiate. They seem to only want one thing: fresh meat. Your meat. They are super accurate in attacks in unprotected spots, so any piece of armor only slows you down and makes you more vulnerable. You gain 1 wound for every piece of armor before you manage to repel them. Okay, we're not wearing any armor, so that's good. Only 1 wound suffices to put the Werehawk's curse upon you. It makes you always buy all animals you can afford to eat them. At the same time, your new dubious smell and visage makes buying prices for everything 1 gold higher. Okay, I don't have any armor, so I didn't get any wounds, so I didn't get the curse. If you're still in just the clothes you begin your journey with, better for you, as you repel them after a bit of acrobatics. Or you can make a dangerous move, getting 1 wound and the curse, but also a monster trophy. If you only have 1 leg or only 1 eye, they easily peck you to death. So, yes, I explained all the ways in which you can lose at the beginning, but also a card can just say that you die. I think, so this turned out to be okay. So if you're still in just the clothes you began your journey with, better for you as you repel them after a bit of acrobatics. I don't think we'll make the dangerous move, because I don't want to be cursed. So, we get knighted beneath this dead tree, and we proceed along our journey. As we go, we encounter these werehawks, and manage to somersault away from them. Perhaps we see like the dead body of an armored man, like near where these werehawks were lairing. All right. We have what looks like 2 people in a wilderness, perhaps by the sea. It's kind of hard to tell because it's not blue, but this could be the sea. It could be like mountains. Yeah, it could be 2 people standing on like the shore overlooking the sea, or 2 people on a mountain. We have 2 guys holding weapons, and a lonely tower. I think the weapon guys, they're probably up to no good, so let's get rid of these. I find in this game it's often good to avoid people, but many people are helpful. So on the balance, I'd say most are less helpful. I think let's go for this one and put this one at the bottom of the deck. 2 travelling students have stumbled upon you lying on the stony ground near a big rock. There is said to be a great fortune in a cave here somewhere, but no one knows where the entrance is. Maybe you found it. And have you found the fortune as well, or have you just been stumbling in the dark? Well, it seems you still are stumbling in the dark, know what I mean? Next time bring a lamp with you. Might be useful even here outside, as there's no sun all days. Know what? Take this. Our nicest lamp for sure, if you don't mind that it's broken. Maybe you really have been in some secret cavern somewhere, but you do not remember, and there's a big bulge in your head. You probably managed to return up here, and then you fainted. Or maybe you just fell off horseback, or a false ally of yours hit you to your head from behind, but you do not remember if you had any horse or ally. Well, get yourself together and go. The ground is freezing terribly. If you had any allies or animals, they're all gone now. We didn't, that's okay. And if and you don't remember how it happened. Confusion +1. Okay, so I guess we have a broken lamp, and we have another mental drop. I'm sure this broken lamp will become very valuable. This, I'm pretty sure, is a vampire tower. So I'm going to get rid of this. I think I remember that from when I last played. Alright. So here we have birds or insects or possibly leaves. Something like swirling around a rock with 2 people on the ground. And here we have, I think this is a person. Let's go for, let's put this guy at the bottom of the deck. And we'll see what this is. Valley of the Dead Kings. Okay. Yep. Those guys at the base look dead. Miraculously preserved mummies of ancient kings lie strewn in this desolate valley. Does a necromancer live nearby? If there is a necromancer card in the Your Past deck, that is this pile of played cards, there isn't. We've not encountered a necromancer. Okay. Right, if there is not... with no necromancer nearby, the dead kings lay dead. You can search them for up to 3 ancient artifacts, but not without all danger. You gain nihilism +1 when you rob the dead the first time, plus the dead infection disease if you take another artifact. A third one will bring also the death curse, killing you in 12 rounds. Okay, I don't want to be cursed to die in 12 rounds, so we have far more than 12 cards left, so if we had that curse, we would need to find a way to lift it or die. I don't really want to get a disease, but maybe I could deal with a bit of nihilism, I think. Let's see what they got here. So we've got a throwing knife, a piece of battle equipment. We have St. Brendan's Instep. This relic of the Traveller's Patron allows us to draw +1 card each turn. +1 to the bottom of the deck. Okay. Chainmail. A magic weapon, the Blade of the Lemurian King, a very powerful enchanted scimitar. Any benefit it can bring as a magic weapon is doubled when you use it, but beware it can only be used once and then it crumbles to pieces. I think let's go for the chainmail. So we've passed the werehawks, who are the ones who could fight, like get through your armor. So unless we encounter something else like that, which I don't know if there is anything else like that, this should just be a strict upgrade. So we have some chainmail, which is battle equipment. So let's note that down. We just like pulled some chainmail off a mummy on the ground out here. Alright, we have a kind of giant golem type figure. We have a tree and some guys. I think the tree looks the safest option, so I'm going to go for that one. But then of these... think I'll get rid of this one, you know. 2 hostile knights would be kind of bad. I don't know if they're hostile, but I don't want to risk it. I'll put this guy to the bottom. Enchanted Tree. Oh, this is from the futile... No, the Fatal End. Okay, so it's maybe not good. You've seen many sacred trees on your journey, especially those where the Catholic Church is not all that sovereign. No, just not that sovereign. Those trees were all old and majestic, but this one is different. It's so huge you feel like a meaningless critter deep down under its gigantic branches. Such a worm! Why are you here at all? Why don't you kill yourself? You should take this blade and... Okay. In fact, this is an enchanted suicidal tree, and you are now under its spell. The weaker your psychic is, the stronger the impact. Will you resist fully? Will you self-harm yourself until you manage to escape? Or will you commit suicide? For every 2 points of psychic drops, we gain 1 wound. Okay, so that would be 1 wound, because we have Mind Disruption 1 and Confusion 1. Each non-battle magic item you have prevents 1 of the wounds, but only if it can be seen as good or neutral, while if it is evil in some way, it, on the contrary, strengthens the effects for 1 more wound. Okay, we don't have any magic items. Each good badge prevents 4, and each evil badge adds 1. We don't have any badges. If you've hurt yourself, these pains are now doubled if you have a magic weapon, as used a much stronger means of self-mutilation. We don't have a magic weapon. Good thing we didn't pick up the magic sword, I suppose. And when you know how many wounds you are to receive, you can trade them for losing your pair organs if you can afford it. 2 wounds for 1 organ. Okay, I guess we just take 1 wound, and we lose if we get to 5 wounds. I think it's 5. Yeah, okay. So we take 1 wound. Alright, carrying on our journey. Okay, this guy has a skull on a chain. I don't like that. But do I like it less than these guys? These guys have skulls for hats. So, Skull Chain Man is in some sort of wilderness along with 3 other people. These people are by a castle of sorts. They might be like guards or soldiers or something. Whereas these could just be like strange wasteland marauders. But it's so hard to tell. Let's stick with my first instinct. Let's get rid of this guy. I think this is the safer option, so I'm going to go here, and I'll put this at the bottom of the deck. Oh, this is also from Fatal Ends. The farmhouse in which you spent the night seemed so harmless. The family was welcoming, right after they recognized you were not as of a thug as you looked. Their oldest daughter was even welcoming too. Oh damn, how welcoming she was, with her parents not being against it. Soon, you learned why. A strong worker was needed on the farm. You soon fell under her hypnotizing spell, and spent not only 1 night, but almost your entire life there. No jokes, harsh reality. Unexpected, unwanted by one part of yourself, but still, you even had children with her. She really wasn't a bad wife to you, and a bad mother to them. True happiness for some, but you are a pilgrim at heart, and living such a life for such a long time brought you all these psychic drops, but also cures. Oh god, so many. Okay, fatigue 2. Confusion 1, so now on confusion 2. Depression -1. We don't have any depression. Mind disruption +2. Uh-oh. Nihilism -2. Did these changes in your psyche break you? Are you destined to stay here as a poor farmer even after she died of typhus and your adult boys were taken to war? Or can you still set forth on an adventure? You're so old, though, that if there awaits you more than 10 cards, there's definitely more than 10 cards here, in the Your Future deck, you are doomed to. None of this happens if you aren't sexually attracted to women or if you're a female pilgrim. In these cases, all this was a dream, but a very vivid and bad one. I wasn't aware that I was supposed to choose whether my pilgrim is a woman or not. Does it specify on here? I don't think it specifies. But if this does happen, then I will lose because I get to 3 mind disruption. So let's say that my pilgrim is a woman. Let's come up with a name for her. Let's call her Jennifer. And let's put this back as it was. So we were on mind disruption 1, confusion 1. Let's put the psychic drops over here. Oh, but I still have a very vivid dream, so I get disgust 1. Okay. So I guess I am actually the lady of the dead tree, if I am a female knight. Alright, this man I think is good. He is friendlier than he looks. He gives you a magic axe that compels you to kill people, but is otherwise okay. Spiders are always bad, right? And we have a village here. Let's get rid of the spiders. Let's put the village or castle, whatever this is, at the bottom of the deck, because I still don't have any money. And we'll talk to this guy to get a magic axe. Wandering Executioner. Wandering from village to village. Oh, this is dialogue. Wandering from village to village, still looking for an opportunity to behead someone. I'm a slave to my own axe. It looks like an ordinary axe, I know. Don't let yourself be fooled by his visage as I did. I can assure you there is an evil spirit inside, craving perpetual carnage. You think I'm joking? Well then, let's arrange something. Take the axe from me. I'm sure the curse will leave me if you take it voluntarily on yourself. I now decide. I can leave him alone with his stupid axe, or I can take his axe, getting a magic weapon, but also the curse that will force you to always choose the most violent solution. I'm going to take a cursed axe. Let's do it. We have a magic weapon. We also now have a curse. If we get to 3 curses, it's game over. Also, we might end up kind of unintentionally killing ourselves or committing suicide by being forced into a fight by this cursed axe. But, you know, it's a weapon. It's better than nothing. Okay, we've got 3 peoply cards this time. We have 2 strange-looking fellows here. We have some people out in a field with scythes and a village or town in the background. And we have an old individual carrying wood. I feel like an old person isn't that risky, given that we have a magic cursed axe and chainmail. So I'm inclined to keep this. And I've definitely encountered this card before, but I can't remember if it's good or bad. I think I may have encountered this one before, but I'm not sure. So let's get rid of this one, and then what do you think, chat? Should I go for this one, the left one with the kind of shadowy people at night, or the right one, this old person with a bundle of sticks on their back. She does look like a witch. But let's go for the potential witch. So this one goes at the base of the deck. And what do we got here? I have a feeling this might be the a Fatal End card, because I don't think I've encountered it before. It is a Fatal End card. An old woman in need. An old woman with a too heavy load of branches is asking for your help. She does not look dangerous, and the surroundings here are too empty to hide a pack of thugs or some sort of trap, so you hear her call. A good deed is rewarded by a good feeling. Heal 1 point from your depression, degradation, disgust, or nihilism of your choice. Ooh, so I can get rid of my disgust. I'm now disgust 0. Unfortunately, this old fortune teller insists on repaying you herself, and so you get an unsolicited piece of information. You should beware of number 7, as it is destined to bring you bad luck. Okay. Count the cards in my past deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If the cards in your past deck are divisible by 7 without a remainder, you get as many wounds as the results, because you're falling from a rock later on your journey. Okay, so I get 1 wound because there are 7 cards. Okay, so I'm now on 2 wounds. If the cards in your future deck are divisible by 7 without a remainder, okay, try to count them without looking. Oh god. Okay, I'm looking straight forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's keep track of how many 7s I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh god. You get as many wounds as a result because you're attacked by wolves in the next forest. Only having the werewolf curse will prevent that. You can prevent 1 wound from magic weapon or full armor. I.e. at least a breastplate or chainmail plus helm and any leg armor. Okay. Right, so I get rid of 1 of these wounds because I have a magic weapon, but then I then take 5 more wounds, which is well over the threshold. Okay. Right, so I help this old woman in need, and unfortunately what happens is she tells me, beware of the number 7! And as I'm like, don't worry, old woman, I'll be careful, I fall over a rock, I'm walking past a cliff and a rock bonks me on the head, and as I'm recovering from that, a pack of wolves descend upon me and tear me limb from limb. Okay. That's the end of our first run. We had quite a few cards left. Let's maybe take out the Fatal Ends. Those were pretty tough. So let's find those. Okay, Fatal Ends can go away, and let's have Pagan Echoes. Which is this one. Yeah. Alright, and let's have another set of cards. So I've got 40 cards here, so there should be 50 left in here. So let's just get rid of 10 cards, then we'll have 40 plus this. Right, so we should have 40 left in here. Let's check that. 1, 2. Yes, okay, we have 40 left. So let's mix these in somewhat and try to shuffle them around a bit. Okay, that's reasonably shuffled, probably. Right, okay, so since we have cards that have different effects based on your gender and sexual orientation, let's just say our next character is a man. Let's call him good man pilgrim name Melmoth. Named after the titular character of Melmoth the Wanderer, a gothic horror book about a man cursed to never rest. Alright, what do we got here? We've got trees, that could be pagan. Oh, that looks very pagan. I'm going to be trying to guess which of the pagan cards, and honestly these could all be pagan cards. So, like, horned men, I think, are generally bad news. But maybe not in a pagan context. I don't know. I'm thinking a horned man is probably bad news. So let's get rid of that guy. And then we have it's like some very pointy trees and more pointy trees, but with a figure. I want to say it's a woman. I think that is either like a... I think that little smudge by the side of the head is maybe hair. Let's put this at the base of the deck. And look at this one. It's not a pagan one, huh? Travelling through a vast forest. Deep forests are so vast... Sorry. Deep forests are a vast no man's land. Here, one can encounter practically anything, much more likely a bad thing, although beneficial events are not excluded entirely. Such a meeting is sometimes decided by experience, other times by pure chance. Count the cards in the Your Past deck. 0. Lower than 3 counts as 3. Okay, 3. 3. You got lost in the forest and it took a whole lot of time to get out. You almost died here. Fatigue +2. Okay. So we're on 2 fatigue. Not the most auspicious of starts. Okay, these guys, I don't like these guys. I also don't like these guys. I think these guys just look like bad news to me. But so do these guys. I don't think I've encountered this card before, so I'm going to get rid of this one, and I'll put these at the bottom of the deck. And let's turn over this one. Some sort of wilderness. Endless cold plains. Wandering through the cold wasteland, you feel lost. According to the maps you have seen, you should already be in the kingdom of Halfsborough, but unfortunately there is still that depressing whiteness everywhere. Fatigue +1. That is 3 fatigue. I drop dead in the frozen wastes. Okay, let's start this character again. Let's just put these back, shuffle. Melmoth didn't really get a good run. But yes, games of Doom Pilgrim can end very quickly if you do not know which cards are the good cards, which I do not. It was a very doomed pilgrimage. But you know, now we know a little bit more about the cards, so we're able to make better decisions next time. Alright, we have a man holding some sort of weapon. Is he maybe holding a sword by the blade? It's a weird way to hold a sword. We have some people with huts, and we have a cave. I feel this man is probably more misunderstood than evil. But do I trust a hut dweller? I'm not sure. Yes, maybe a bishop with a cross. He does have a kind of weird hat thing. What are we thinking? Hut people or cave? Okay, cave. Let's get rid of the hut people. We'll put the possibly bishop at the base of the deck. And go into the cave. Cold Mountains Cavern. Most probably, this cavern hidden in freezing mountains used to be an outlaw shelter, but many signs reveal it as being deserted for some time. The winds blow awfully this evening, so you take the cave as your own shelter for the night, outlaw or not. Before setting up your camp inside, you complete a small search of the cavern. The outlaws left some things here, and your experience as an adventurer, the total number of cards in the Your Past deck, 0, decide how many of them you find in the cave system. Okay, 0 to 7, fragmented bones, rags, and broken weapons scattered around, nothing useful. So this is the sort of card where, if you knew what this is, you would realize, this is good to encounter later, but not right now, so I will put this at the base of my deck to encounter in a bit. But sadly, we did not know that, and so we get nothing. Okay, right. We have ape pig men, just 2 little guys, and 2 castles with a bridge between them. Possibly 1 castle with in 2 parts with a bridge. We saw this is the one we saw when we I turned over a random card in the beginning. And it did something based on whether it was an odd or an even day, and I didn't look at which days did what. So I don't know if that's good. I don't know if this one is good or bad. But I think I'm going to keep this as a potential. And these 2 guys don't look that threatening. So let's get rid of this one. And let's put this one later. And interacts with these guys. Wild children. You have come too close and too imprudently to these critters that looked so cute at first sight. They attack you so fast and fiercely that surprise prevails over your fighting skills. You can manage only to protect your eyes with your hand. Choose if you lose an eye or your hand as a result of an infection from a deep scratch. Okay. So losing eyes and hands are pretty bad, because if you lose both of them, that is game over. I guess I'll... let's see. So the were-harpies, or were-hawks, whatever they were, they can kill you if you're missing an eye. But they're not in this deck, they're in the other pile of cards from the previous game. So I'm thinking maybe losing an eye is better than losing a hand. Yeah, let's lose an eye. So we have lost 1 eye. Alright. Then they hide in the ruins of their house, and you have some time to figure out what had happened here. Their parents had probably died long ago, and the children somehow managed to survive, living wild partly, like some predatory animals. What should you do now? Well, should you do anything? Decide. Kill them. You get a killer badge and a bad feeling when you are standing in the empty ruin over the old bones of the couple whose children you have just killed. Leave them doing nothing. A diplomatic solution indeed, soon you feel bad about yourself. Or help them in surviving here, giving them a sharp knife or similar tool. You always have some and can soon get another easily. An insane solution, but at the same time the most reasonable, leaving the feeling the world itself is a mad place. Alright, so we're going to get a psychic drop no matter what we choose. It's just, do we want the killer badge or not? A killer badge, there are badges of various types. They don't have any like concrete mechanical effects. Just some cards will say like, if you have a killer badge, this happens, or if you have a saint badge, this happens. And they're not uniformly good or bad. So there'll be some situations where it is helpful to have a killer badge, some situations where it'll be harmful. Let's kill the children. They, one of them ruined my eye with his disgusting child hands. Let's do it. We'll rip him limb from limb. We get depression +1. And we have a killer badge. I'll teach those wild children. Alright, this is definitely from the pagan cards, this guy. And then we have, this looks like a bishop or priest of some sorts with his big hat with an upside down cross on it. I'm sure bishops love upside down crosses. Behind an altar of some sort. And a big tree. So he is smiling. So that's a potential good sign. Or he could be smiling with, the joy of doing bad. This person is very muscular and unclothed and holding a weapon. I don't really want to judge by his appearance. He could be a good friend. And the tree looks very unthreatening. So none of these cards are sending like red flags to me. So this is a fairly good set, I think. I want to keep the tree because it seems pretty... I feel like the tree is the safest option, so I'll keep that at the base of the deck. Then... I don't really have any preference between these two. I'm kind of curious about this one, because it'll be from the Pagan set, so I guess we'll get rid of this, and we can check out this guy. And hope that wasn't the bad decision. Coming of Age Ritual. You meet a strong-looking savage on your travels in the bleakest hills to the south. He wears his roughly tanned bear fur proudly as if it were the most splendid royal gown. Soon, you find out why. Hunting down a bear was the first successful part of his coming-of-age ritual. Now he only needs 2 more proofs to be allowed to return back home to his tribe as an adult member. You can't resist the horror of how dangerous this tribe must be if this muscle monster is just a minor. Thank God he doesn't hide where his homeland is. You show him immediately that you're headed straight the opposite way. So good, he responds with glowing eyes. Spirits want us to travel together, then, because I too must go as far from my home as possible to prove myself. He is so keen about the new friendship that you don't dare objecting anything, especially when he's declared it as the will of spirits. Offending his beliefs is the last thing you'd like to do. Yodulf, the teenage barbarian, as your companion, reduces damage taken in each fight by 1 wound. If the fight has more rounds, for example a fight before entering followed by a fight inside, subtract 1 from each of the rounds. Okay. In return, he takes 1/2 of all gold looted, not traded together, rounded down, as he is a minor. He doesn't take any items, as he needs only his huge axe and stinky fur. But most importantly, he takes all monster trophies you gather, until they are 2. Then he returns home in glory, for a woman and a hut. You can also never refuse a chance to fight for such a trophy. Okay, so it's kind of a mixed blessing here. He will reduce damage we take, but we have to fight monsters when we find them. Alright, well, probably more good than bad. Let's put him there so we remember that we've got this companion. And let's see what we got here. We have a horned man, or possibly a large... Oh, you can't see that one. A horned man, or possibly like a large helmet thing. He's holding a sword and possibly a spear, with a and with a stag or something. We have a path with someone standing on it, who looks in like a pose of like he's blocking the path, perhaps. And we have these 2 weird-looking people. What do you think? I'm inclined to get rid of this one, because this looks like it's probably going to be a fight. But I could be persuaded otherwise. Okay, get the stag. We'll get rid of this guy. We'll see the stag, and we will put these at the base of the deck. Oops. Green Knight. Going through a deep, misty forest, you meet a noble figure, a tall warrior, more like a god than a man, and there stands a majestic deer beside him. The deity addresses you with an unmanly, deep, but not unpleasant voice. Don't fear us, O Pilgrim of Fate. Yes, you would be no match for the forces we represent, but we don't want to put harm on you. We believe you might be our champion in the nowadays world that slowly forgets about the green. We had to restrain to the shadows of darkest forests while the so-called God continues to confuse people's minds with fairy tales of sin and redemption. The true story is much simpler. Life and death, growth and decay, power and weakness. You know it the same as we do. So behold, this is Jelaniah, the dear god of Atlantis, one of the only few immortals and indestructibles still living on this corrupt plane of existence. He will accompany you on your quest if you are really worthy. To get and keep this companion, you need either both a Good Heart and a Hero badge, we don't have those, or a Blasphemer badge. You also cannot have any Curse, Killer, or Saint badges, or any Christian relics, or evil artifacts. We do not qualify for the Deer God. That is a shame, because it looks pretty cool. Riding the Deer God, you are invincible in outdoor fights. Damn. Each time, choose the best fight solution a card suggests and ignore all harms, even non-physical ones, as he is a god. Oh, that sounds awesome. You also travel much faster, so draw 2 cards each turn, and then 2 more go to the bottom of the deck. Okay, this would be a really good card, but sadly, we are disqualified from this by the fact that we killed some children earlier. This is also not a pagan card, so just a green knight is a normal thing that can happen. Okay. Okay, this one. We know this one is bad. This one fatigues you, so let's get rid of this. We then have... I mean, this looks obviously bad as well. We have like a chain gang style situation going on. So maybe we want to keep this and put it at the bottom of the deck and discard this one, because we have some muscular people leading with spiky armor, leading a bunch of chained people. So this one looks very bad. I think let's get rid of that actually. And when we do cycle through the deck, we can always discard this when it comes up next, if we still don't like it. A raider episode. Oh no, this sounds not good. These far lands aren't safe even for an experienced traveller. In fact, you must have taken a role of one of the dangers on yourself to survive. Marauders would kill you if you had not become one of them. A feint that brought you the privilege of being even a close one to the Horde leader will be for a long narration. So let's rather discuss what the year spent with them has given you and take away. Okay, we spent a year living with these raiders then. The better suited for such a role you were, the better the loot. But being too eager a marauder may bring psychological problems to a non-barbarian from birth. Apply the results according to the text below, and remember, being doomed doesn't always mean death. For example, if you end in insanity, you stay with them as an insane killer. You can't use allies as they are equal members of the pact as you. Okay. Each disease makes you more vulnerable. We don't have any diseases. Magic weapon. We don't have any magic weapons. We don't have any battle equipment. We don't have an outlaw badge. We do have a killer badge. We gain +2 gold, +1 nihilism, +1 disgust. We got 2 gold though, so Yodulf, he takes 1/2 all gold looted, so we only get 1 gold. Fear and dismay, we don't have those. If you're a saint or a hero, no. Okay, that's resolved. That wasn't so bad. Bit of nihilism, bit of disgust, bit of money, and a year living among the raiders. Okay, this looks like some sort of were-person. Like a werewolf or some similar thing. This is just a little guy. And here we have two tall, thin guys. I think I'll get rid of this one. And what do you think? Should we go for the little guy or the 2 guys? This one has a sword, but his companion seems to be unarmed, whereas this person looks very unthreatening. Then again, I thought the children looked unthreatening, and they were threatening. Okay, the two guys. Witnessing a secret conversation. Hidden in the dark, you accidentally hear two armed men arranging a robbery. A good man would end this wrongdoing, but really, a good man knows that killing people is bad, and any such interference could end up like this. Not to mention, you yourself could be the killed one. A bad man would step forward and insist that he must be taken as the third one into the plan now, but it might bring more problems than gains in the end. Maybe you could try to warn those going to be robbed, be it for goodness or a reward, but you do not know the particular names and the particular place and names, and secretly following the burglars could be too dangerous. However, a wise man waits till they leave, and then he minds his own business. Okay, there's no consequence here, so I guess we are the wise man in this case. We overhear this secret conversation, and I'm like, that's none of my business. I'll just let that pass. Okay, we have a guy with little horns holding a pitchfork. We have a human sacrifice. And we have a bunch of people in the wilderness. I kind of want to look at this one because I've not seen this card before. It's from the pagan set. I'll get rid of this one. You know, people with horns and tridents, they might not all be bad. A nobleman in trouble. In godforsaken lands to the east, you happen to take part in a crowd of bystanders at a brutal execution. Yeah, it looks kind of like a sacrifice, but I guess it could just be a brutal execution. With your hood on, no one finds your visage is a bit different from the faces hungry for blood, and their hunger is being satisfied. The first noble-dressed man has just been hammered to death, while his pitiful corpse is being untied from among the pillars. A very surprising thing happens. The second captive shrieks in poor Latin, "Help me, and I'll drown you in gold!" He does not look at you, but you are sure he addresses you. You must act fast. This opportunity won't come again. The mob may soon regain vigilance lost in the sadistic pleasure. Will you help? Decide in 1 second, now. Sure, let's help. Yes. If you have at least 4 wounds or 6 psychic drops in total, or 2 curses or 2 diseases, or if a leg is missing, you fail here and become the next victim. We don't have any of these things. We have no wounds, we have 3 psychic drops, we have no curses, and we have no diseases, and we are not missing a leg. Otherwise, the mission isn't impossible, but so unsure that mere luck will decide. Take a card at random from cards out of the game from the box. If the card's title exceeds 16 letters, or if there are fewer than 10 cards, you're doomed. From the box. Fewer than 10 cards. I guess it must be the discard pile. Because if I was playing with the full deck, there'd be nothing in the box. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're doomed. Okay. Well, we have our companion. Does he help at all here? He reduces wounds. I'm inclined to say that we don't save the nobleman, and we lose our companion, Yodulf. He dies heroically in the fight, because I want to keep turning over more cards. So Yodulf, gone. Okay. Right, so if I had chose to not save him, you leave the scene sneakily with a bad taste in your mouth. +1 degradation. Feeling also a bit cowardly concerning any other possible adventures. +1 fear. Okay. Yes, so going to kill off Yodulf and continue with our quest. It didn't say I could do that, but I am playing the game, not the game designer. Okay, we've got these guys who don't look amazing, and these guys who also don't look amazing. In fact, we had these... I guess we saw these cards before in our previous game, yeah. I'm thinking like this one, like the forest thing, and I really don't like the look of this person. He has like a skull face. He's got a pointy morning star. Let's get rid of him. We'll put these guys at the base of the deck. You know, if they're smiling, they could be friendly, but I'm not so sure. But we'll see what is going on in the trees here. Just a fisherman. It's pointy. He like swinging his morning star into the lake and spearing fish, lifting him out. Okay, Pagan Queen. In wooded distant lands, a young woman is weeping amongst the trees. She must have been beautiful, which even numerous cut wounds on her face and her arms, nor terrible burns on her body can't hide. Perrin himself in his grace is sending you to me, O stranger, she cries. Please, be so kind and burn me. Spirits of my ancestors have been haunting me unbearably since I escaped from my husband's burial mound. I should have died in flames like his other wives, but I was too weak to endure. But I know I must. Burn me now, I beg you. I can't do it myself, although I tried. If you are insane or callous enough, having a killer or outlaw badge, or confusion plus mind disruption plus insanity at least 2. Okay, we have a killer badge. You can do as she wishes to gain a blasphemer badge. Nihilism +1 and her lead to the mound. If you hold a worldview to replace her pagan beliefs, having a saint or scholar badge or nihilism at least 2, being a member of a cult, you can gain her as an ally. Okay, well, I can't gain her as an ally, so I guess I'm going to burn her alive, because she wants that, and then I get the stuff. So in the ashes of the burnt grave, you find remains of treasures worth 3 gold, that's pretty good, and the ceremonial blade with which the queens cut themselves mourning their king's death. It breaks 1 curse, or the first you get if you have none yet. Oh, I like that. Okay, so we are going to get a blasphemer badge. And nihilism +1, so we're now on 2 nihilism. We are 1 point of nihilism away from giving up on our journey because things are just too meaningless. We get 3 gold and a ceremonial blade. We shall break the first curse we get, since we don't have any curses at the moment. It's also a weapon, so that will be useful in fights and such like. Okay. We have a tower. We have another tower. And we have horses, I think. Okay, so we have a tower, and this looks more like a natural mound because it's got trees on top. And then we have horses. I like the horses. Let's go for the horses. And I feel a tower has people in and people are dangerous, whereas a natural mound could be safe. So let's put the mound at the base and see what's up with the horses. Raided village. One morning you finally leave the forest behind, expecting a nice village inn, but this poor village at the borders of pagan territory has been raided. Houses have been burnt, the corpses of humans and animals lay around without their heads. And if some managed to survive, they probably fled, as there is just a haunting silence here now. Yet still, a faint streak of smoke rises from one of the nearby chimneys. The few buildings in the chimneys must have belonged to rich villagers. No way they could have survived. Then you notice a handful of huge horses tied up in front of the building and you smell danger. Act fast. Raiders are probably sleeping inside and the horses start to be nervous. Have you just considered leaving unnoticed? I did. If you have, this short hesitation takes you a precious time and you get 1 wound from the upcoming carnage. Another 1 wound comes from each point of your fear and dismay as they bring about a big hesitation too. Every 2 pieces of battle equipment prevents 1 wound. Okay, we only have 1 piece of battle equipment. We don't have any fear or dismay, so we get 1 wound. Then you bring bloodshed to the room full of sleepy headhunters with hard hangovers, acting as mercilessly as they acted yesterday. When it's done, you may take 6 gold and their battle equipment from all the blood, but if you do, you feel like a second-hand scavenger. Degradation +1. Okay, so I guess what happens is I come across this scene and momentarily I think, oh, there's raiders, I should creep away, but then I'm like, no, they need to die for what they've done. Okay. Right, so 1 wound. And I will take their stuff. So 6 gold. We've now got 12 gold. We're rich. We're rolling in money. We've not had any opportunity to spend it yet. And their battle equipment. Get degradation +1. We have a leather belt with dead sharp throwing knives. And shoulder straps with huge spikes. Later, you step outside hoping to take the horses, but alas, one of the barbarians must have managed to escape and dispersed all of them. The rope has been cut. It's better to leave fast before he returns with reinforcements. Okay. Just going to step away for a moment to top up my drink, and then we shall continue this journey that's going pretty well, I feel, but we'll see. Yes, well, says the one-eyed doomed man. I mean, I'm not dead yet, so it could always be going worse. Right, let's see. This does not look very friendly to me. Let me just adjust the light so it's not, shining so much on this leftmost card. I think the light is handy for, like, maybe don't leave the light. Let's have a look. Okay, if I have it like at this angle, it still lights things up a little bit, but without any glare. That's good. Okay, this does not look friendly. It does not spark joy. I have seen this one before. I feel that there's like a hermit you can meet who will join you. So I think I'm going to go for this one. I could be misremembering it. There's like a horrible encounter there, and I've just kind of conflated two separate cards, but we'll see. Iceberg Hermitage. What kind of inner demons are chasing you throughout the world that you can ever come to such detached and cold places? But one morning you see a hole in an ice wall, definitely an artificial one. And soon you find yourself sitting in the den of a very vital hermit. He wears nothing but a loincloth, even in such brutal cold, and energetic eyes shine from the face with a respectable beard. But these are not the eyes of a fool, this is a sage for sure. My elk left last week, my bear hasn't come here for a whole month, and it is a whole year to this very day since the snow monkey whom I called my sister said goodbye to me, departing for higher, even more severe places, and now I see it clear. The time has come for me to leave too, but not for an even deeper wilderness. No, I am now to bring my wisdom that sprouted in seclusion to mankind. Yes, if I do it alone, they would throw things at me for sure. Heavier, harder, or sharper depending on their mental level. But with you as my companion, the mob would not dare to lynch me. Ha ha! Will you accept the cheerful philosopher as your companion? Every 3 turns with him, a psychic drop of your choice is healed. But all buyings in towns and villages are 1 gold higher, and all sellings 1 gold lower, as people are skeptical about your too wise party. We've got quite a lot of money right now, and healing psychic drops is pretty good, so I'm gonna keep it. So I guess it'll be handy to have like a little like counter somewhere. Let's say like. Let's have a little counter here to keep track of turns, so we know when to clear things. But I guess the first thing I get rid of will be 1 point of nihilism because I've got 2 in there. It'd be nice if I could find a way to like grow my eye back or something, but I'm not sure if that's a thing. But you can kind of see the strategy in this game, right? You play it enough that you learn the cards, and then you're like, oh, this card is good, so I will do this, or oh, this card is good, but only if you encounter it like late in the game after meeting some prerequisites, so I'll shift this to later, and so on. Right, okay. We have towns. I feel this might be a plague town. So I'm going to get rid of this. And then... These people don't look terribly friendly. I kind of want to go to the town because we have a bunch of money. And there's no point in having money if we never spend it. Just like real life. Schiefenturm. The city of Schiefenturm is profoundly dark and twisted. People walk slowly. Their faces are pale, and they hardly speak a word. The whole area is under some veil of despair, and you cannot help yourself to stay untouched. Despair +1. We don't have any despair right now. That's a new one. We have depression, nihilism, disgust, degradation, and now despair. Later, You hear the city is under an evil curse a wizard, who as a child lived homelessly on the local streets, put on it. When he got an adult and made it to an adept from a sorcerer's apprentice, he wants to make all his former citizens feel how he himself felt, begging and being rejected and ridiculed again and again on the church stairs or in the smelly holes behind the marketplace. Nevertheless, there is one artifact that could break the curse. If you have the femur of Saint Christopher, this bone is powerful enough to make all the despair of take all the despair of the city. Then you can throw it into the chasm behind the city and return here for a reward. We do not have that. We don't have any relics at all. You can also purchase these things and services here. Okay. We can get bronze gauntlets. They are battle equipment. We can heal a wound. We can get the Ring of the Beastmaster. They say it is one thing that the wizard lost here when he was putting the curse on the city. The ring ensures you have absolute control over your animal or beast allies. They never get scared, never betray you, never kill you. We don't have any beast allies. I'm going to get the bronze gauntlets. That's 5 gold, so let's just cross that off. And that was 4 gold. And I will also... It's 4 gold because we have our weird hermit friend who people find off-putting. Also, we need to mark off 1 there so we know we're 1 closer to healing a psychic drop. I'll also spend 5 gold to heal a wound. So we had 12 gold, we now have 1 left, but we have healed our wounds. We're still missing an eye, but the other wound we had is gone. Okay, I'm pretty sure this one is bad because I recall in a previous game thinking, I remember this card, it was a good card, and then it was not a good card. So I'm going to get rid of that. We have like a drinking horn that is smoking, and 2 people. Let's go for the drinking horn. Depths of your soul. It's a pagan card. Traveling distant lands, you meet various people with various habits, religions, and rituals. Sometimes you get to know them from the wrong side, and sometimes they are friendly. But this particular experience brings you mixed feelings, even though the shamans were not unfriendly at all to you. On the contrary, you're invited to their most personal ritual. Though, as I tried to explain to you, it is always personal, mainly for the person undergoing the ritual. It doesn't matter if it is me who hands you this decoction. The journey you are going to set on will be inherently yours. You aren't sure if you understood, but there are only some innocuous-looking roots in the decoction, and in the end, others drink it too, so what could go wrong, huh? This drug has very intense psychic effects depending on your inner balance. If the shamans knew before that you, as a civilized man, have had a much more complicated personal history, they would not give it to you, or at least they would have prepared you better. Well, the die is cast. These features go against each other. Apply the results. Okay. So we have a blasphemer badge and a killer badge. It looks like we don't get anything here. So they're all kind of pairs of things. So if you're a hero and a killer, you get mind disruption. If you're a hero and an outlaw, you get confusion. If you have a good heart and you're a killer, you get depression. If you have a good heart and you're an outlaw, you get disgust. If you're a saint and a blasphemer, you get insanity. If you have a werewolf curse and a vampire curse, you get despair. And if you're a member of a secret cult, you get dismay. I don't have any of those. If no conflict emerges at all, you feel very refreshed and in harmony with your inner self after the ritual. Heal 2 points of psychic drops of your choice or 1 wound. Nice. Let's get rid of I could completely clear my nihilism, but I'm inclined to get rid of 2 others and have my philosopher friend, after the next card, heal my nihilism. So I think I'll get rid of despair and depression. And now feel very dumb if the next card I draw gives me some nihilism before I can heal it. What's the least nihilistic looking card of these 3? I mean, this looks bad. This is obviously not what we're going to pick. Okay, so we have 2 castles. One is just a castle by itself. One is a castle with a possibly ghostly figure nearby, as they are white. I think let's go for the castle by itself. So I'll put this one away. This deck's getting, you know, it's shrinking. It's not exactly small, but it's getting there. Okay, Castle of the Magician. The grim castle in the mountains of constant storms is home to the infamous Master Magician. You wondered if an offended god stands behind all this harsh weather, or if it is the work of the magician himself. The latter seems much more likely to you. Anyway, once you get to the gate, the magician lets his pitiful hunchback servants open it for you. Then he plans to give you his service in return for some nice stories from your journey. The old man lives so detached that he sometimes needs distraction. Count cards in the Your Past deck. This is the number of stories forming a credit to be spent on his service. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Okay, so it could heal a wound, but I don't have any wounds. I don't have any curses or diseases. It looks like really all I can do with him is healing psychic drops, but that's very good. I can heal 3 psychic drops because it costs 3, and I have 11. So let's heal 1, 2, 3. And then my philosopher friend is like, by the way, nihilism is nothing to be concerned about, and I heal another psychic drop, so I am mentally completely fine at this point in my journey. That was a very good last couple of rounds. So let's start another 3 tracker for my friend. Okay, we have a village or town of some sorts. We don't have any money though, so probably not a good idea to go there straight away. We have a bunch of armored people, some of whom are mounted. And we have looks like a castle by the sea, perhaps. Let's. I mean, I'm kind of curious about these guys. I don't really like this little, like, hunched over guy here, so I'm going to get rid of this. I will visit this one later, and let's see what's up with these guys. A row of pride duels. Savage raiders you just come across kill people to rob them, or worse, if they can steal bodily pleasure. But as you seem useless for both their lusts, they must figure out what to do with you. As it is obvious their heads were not made for thinking, you help them decide, helping yourself. What about arranging pride duels? 1 after 1, fighting me in a fair fight, and if I beat 3 of you, you let me go. You put a special emphasis on the word pride, hoping it will make the offer irresistible for them, and on the word fair, hoping this word means something for them too. Splendid, let's do it, roars their leader. Though, you don't look like you'd match even the weakest of us. After some of them kill each other out of the quarrel who is the weakest, they finally find one, now a bit wounded, who's forced to take such a role. Fight him. No special equipment, no allies. Then pass to better and better. Okay, we start with Torhail the Younger. Not very experienced yet, but how strong is he? Only the higher experience will help you. Check the Your Past deck. If you went through 2 or more fights already, you win this one too. Otherwise, his hammer is the last thing you see in your miserable life. Okay. How many fights have we had? We had 1. There's one where I stayed with them for a while. Let's see. I stayed with some raiders, which I guess probably counts as a fight. Yeah, okay, so I fought some raiders here, so that's 1. And 2, I lost a companion there. 3. Okay, I've been in 3 fights. If you went through 2 or more fights already, you win this one too. Okay. Then we fight Holmgar the Old. Is, on the contrary, experienced too much. Perfect fitness can help you. He does not kill you if you have no more than 3 wounds and 1 disease. I don't have any wounds or diseases. Finally, we have Esdrich, a real champion. Fair fighting will not do. Is there something about you that can make you win? Check your sheet and think about it. No weapons or visible equipment will help. If you win, they give you his Wolfang's Talisman. Granted, gives degradation immunity. Okay. Do I have anything that can help? No weapons or visible equipment will do. I mean, I do have both the Killer and the Blasphemer badge, so maybe I fight really unfair. I don't know, this feels kind of like I lose the game unless I can come up with a weird justification for why I don't. Which doesn't feel like an amazing card. Sure, let's say that I fight really dirty because I'm both a killer and a blasphemer. So that passes. I got these cards twisted. No. Okay. Making progress ever slowly onwards towards the end of the deck and winning the game. Completing the doomed pilgrimage. Right. Okay, this looks like probably an animal hunt. But we're not wounded or anything, so that could be fine. We have 2 settlements. Castles, I think, tend to be a little bit risky, so maybe let's get rid of the castle and let's go to the village. Let's put the boar to the base of the deck. Alright, what have we got here? 3 Castle. This town looked more like 3 separate fortresses, stark at the first sight, but then you found local people are quite warm, regardless of the cold weather descending from the frosty mountains to the north. Yeah, I guess I got three things here. Castle, castle, castle. 1 wound healed to you and all allies. 1 psychic drop of your choice healed. For 3 gold pieces you can indulge in the services of a physician or spa. The Reeve of 3 Castle buys monster trophies. Okay. Or frost crystals. I can't use any of these things. But I don't have any wounds or psychic drops. I only have 1 gold. But that's okay. It is 1 more card down. We have a castle with probably a guard in front. We have pointy tree, and we have someone who looks truly horrible. Okay. What are we thinking? Which one should we discard? Which one shall we put at the bottom of the deck? And which one shall we go for? Okay, visit the castle. What about these two? Which one should we discard? And which one shall go to the bottom of the deck? Okay, evil trees. Maybe this person is friendly. Maybe. Okay. Into the quiet castle. Rich loot awaits you in this castle, you know it. But what seems quiet may hide lurking evil. This you know too. Some of your points of efficiency for this event. Any wear or vampire curse +3? Nope. Perfect shield +4? Nope. Small shield +2? Nope. Kite shield +1? Nope. Cursed axe +3? Nope. Another magic weapon. We do have a magic weapon. We have the ceremonial blade that breaks a curse. That's a magic weapon. That's a +2. Helm. We don't have a helmet. Leg plates. Nope. Codpiece. Nope. Mad Jester's cap or non-zero confusion, minus option or insanity, -3. We don't have those. Some sort of torso plate. Nope. Braces. We have gauntlets. Gauntlets are braces, I think. Indestructible armor. Nope. 10 or more cards in the Your Past deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So that's +2. Non-zero fear or dismay. We don't have those. An ally +1. Okay, so we've got 6 as our points of efficiency for this. How far and what booty you got? 3 to 6. Died, but nicely. A blade trap beheaded you. Okay, let's just make sure I didn't miss anything. Because 7 is you survive. Let's see. Nope, we die. We went into the quiet castle, but we were beheaded by a blade trap. Well, that is the end of this character's journey. Another doomed pilgrimage. Okay, so we've done the Fatal End. We've done the Pagan Echoes. Let's do one more game with the Futile Havens expansion, and then call it a day. Let's split this up. Okay, that's the Pagan Echoes. And let's see, I believe there are like 10 cards that we've not done, so I don't know which ones they are. I'll just shuffle the whole thing and deal out 40 cards from here. Though it is a pain to shuffle this giant deck of cards. Need like a card shuffling machine for this. Okay, that's 40 cards. And we've now got the Futile Havens, so let's mix those in. Okay. Okay, another... let's see, another character name. Let's go for... Let's see, we've had a man, we've had a woman. Let's... let's just turn over this deck. If the title of the card has an even number of letters, it's a man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, it is a woman. Call her... Margaret. Okay, we have a church. That looks good. I don't know if this one... Yeah, it looks like it's that way, I think. We have the children. Let's get rid of those children. And then probably the church is good. But maybe we want to save this till later if it's a good card. Because it'd be quite nice, you know, if we get towards the end and we have like a run of cards that are probably safe. So I'm going to put this at the bottom of the deck. And go for this one and hope I don't regret that choice. Oh, upside down. So it is... Oh, I see. Yeah. Right, yes. I have had this one before. Ah, of course. Yes, okay. I didn't realise that it was upside down, and so it was a card I've seen before. Okay, we get nothing. It's the Cold Mountain Pass. It's based on the number of cards in the deck. Let's rotate this. This one was also bad. But I'm pretty sure this one is worse. So I'll get rid of this one. I don't know, I'll put this at the base. This gave fatigue, which isn't like awful. But, What is this one? Leprous woman. A woman, evidently afflicted with a bad disease, is walking towards you. With a loud rattle, she warns you to move away to not get infected. Nevertheless, you happen to talk to her, and soon you know the full story. How cruel and reckless of her husband to repudiate her as soon as he found out she was sick. No words can express how much I hate him now, she continues. Oh, how I long for retaliation. But I am just a weak woman, growing weaker and weaker, and our farm, his farm, is well guarded, even surrounded by that high wall. What could I do? But maybe... Her tortured face lights up and she reveals a plan to you in which you would act as his punisher. If you have the leprosy disease yourself, you can stay closer listening to the whole plan. If you are not a leper, you could not talk to her about her plan in detail, and so you carry it out in a rather rash fashion. Getting two wounds plus a killer badge, only if you want to help her, of course. However, if you do not, you cannot gain the reward. And the reward is a relic that makes you immune to smallpox, typhus, and pestilence. I don't really want to get 2 wounds and a killer badge. So I think I will pass on helping out the leprous woman. Okay, these guys don't look amazingly friendly. This looks like a relatively safe place, so I'm going to put this at the base of the deck. So what's going on here? Monastery of the Broken. Their monastery is hardly more than a system of miserable caves, but local monks are very eloquent concerning all possible dangers looming in the world out there. They are especially skilled and keen at portraying various types of the most brutal tortures you may be subjected to, with skinning alive as the mildest of them. So, brother, continues the monk, you should stay with us to avoid these horrors. Decide. Stay with them till your crappy death in their dirty and stinky but peaceful haven. Or, refuse the offer and continue your journey the next day, just after you rest and eat a little. But your staying in their company is not without all consequences. Your courage and morale drop. Fear +1. Okay, let's keep going. Alright, we have... I don't really know what this is. Possibly the sea, but then looks like there's like a cave there. I don't know. So this could be like a cave by a stream. We have a mountain with what looks like a settlement on top. This looks pretty peaceful. And a tent. I'm inclined to put this one at the base of the deck. But then I don't really know which to choose between these two. Which one should we go for here? The tent does seem like a good place to get leprosy. Let's get rid of that then. Cave in the moors. Okay. Traveling through some hostile moors, suddenly you feel someone is watching you, and indeed, there seems to be an eye's reflection in a nearby cave. If your fear is 1 or more, you avoid the cave, frightened, and move on. Do not read this card any further. Okay. We have some unfriendly looking guys, one of whom has a knife. We have a line of people with staffs. These could be pilgrims. Those guys could be okay. And we have whatever this is, some sort of landscape. I'm not really sure what this thing is, but I'm inclined to get rid of these guys and maybe go for this one. Elder Gods Worshippers. Okay, this feels like it may have been a mistake. Beings from the deepest pits of time are sleeping, awaiting their return. Now, the moment is nearer than ever. You swallow the remark that if the event is to come in the future, the priest's sentence is valid any time. It will be best not to provoke them, as you can be glad they aren't hostile. In fact, they even offer you to join them. They must have seen some qualities for this honorary post in you. Nevertheless, to join them, you must be a freak. The sum of your confusion, mind disruption, and insanity must be 2 or more, and not be a big coward. Dismay and fear in total has to be no bigger than 2. We are not qualified. Okay, the whole rest of the card is what happens if I join. So I'm not joining because I'm not qualified. Okay, I don't like Pitchfork Man. Let's get rid of him. Can't pick it up. Oh my god. Slide this off the table. Just wanted to rotate it. And this as well. Okay. Let's go for the little guy and put these at the base of the deck. Snow Troll Hunt. Yes, cards we know. Perfect. You felt like a monster hunter when you started following a path of troll footprints in the snow, but after exhaustive wandering through the freezing landscape, fatigue +1. You find yourself going in circles and it seems like the troll is following you. Who is the hunter and who is the prey now? This savage beast is so cunning and dexterous in its natural environment that no weapons, even magical ones, or other battle equipment can be of any service here. The monster could even roll a huge stone from a rock on you. Be super careful. Only your experience in monster hunting helps. Okay, I don't have any experience in monster hunting. Count all monster trophies. 0 monster trophies. The troll ripped your hand off, inflicting 1 wound on you, and threw one of your companions down from the rock before you managed to kill it. Okay, I lose a hand. Killing it gets you a monster trophy, Snow Troll Mane, that also serves as a badge of might and honor when you wear it. Your fear and dismay each is reduced by 1 when you wear it. Okay, so wounds, I've lost a hand. But I have the monster trophy Snow Troll Mane. Okay, we have a castle. We have something that looks like out of a weird gothic Pinocchio adaptation. And we have a man in a skull boat. I'm thinking Goth Pinocchio is probably safe. Skullboat, castle. I'm going to get rid of the castle and let's talk to Goth Pinocchio. The Big Mill. A mill is a place where a lot of people gather, exchanging their news and trading goods while they await their flour to be ground or to take their turn. This mill is especially big. Thankfully, you can trade here. Your prices depend on stories you can tell. People like you. If you have interesting news, there are at least 7 cards in the Your Pass deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But they consider you a mere fabulator if your stories are too many. Otherwise, they are indifferent. Right, I can sell monster trophies here for 3 gold. I could then buy a horse, which lets you count as battle equipment and it lets you choose from 1 more card each turn, with 1 more card going to the base of the deck. Or I could buy a tent, which increases my fatigue and nihilism tolerance. Anti-melancholy drops to heal 1 depression or 1 despair. I could hire a servant if I was richer. I think I will sell my monster trophy, so I'll no longer have that. And I will buy a horse. So now I get to draw 4 cards. So we still discard 1 and choose 1, and the other 2 goes to the base of the deck. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's go for this one. This looks relatively calm. I'll put these 2 at the base of the deck. Small town at the sea. Maybe just a fort rather than a real town, but quite rich, as trade routes intersect here and there's valuable access to the sea. The garrison of the fort is well armoured, and a bigger town of the same principality is so close that any robbers groups wouldn't dare come here. I can spend money here, but I don't have any money, so... Yep. I mean, there's no point going to a town if I don't have any money, so I guess I'll just... That'll go to the base of the deck. I don't really know what this is. And then we have two things with people. These guys have weapons. Not sure whether they're friendly or not. And this one is... There's some sort of small village. This one could be safe as well. I think I'll get rid of this one because I have no idea what it is. I'll put these two to the base of the deck and we'll go check out this, like, villagey thing. Secluded village. The village you've just entered is quite a cozy place. Most probably it manages to evade regular plagues and raids because it is so secluded, set between the huge forest and the mountain. A short stay here will heal your fatigue and depression, both by 1. Okay, I do have a point of fatigue. But as you get to know the inhabitants better, you notice there are some problems here after all. The bloody beasts, as locals would say. One keeps coming from the forest, attacking our sheep, says the innkeeper, while the other descends from the mountains, ripping off our goats. A few times they even attacked our people, and these incidents are happening more and more. Okay. I don't have a werebeast or vampire curse. I don't have any monster trophies to sell. I can choose to help hunt them down. I don't know how I do that, though. It says, during your journey, if you Oh, I see. It's just in the subsequent cards. During your journey, if you kill such a creature, you heal 1 psychic drop point of your choice. And as it is so psychically rewarding and soothing to be at least a small hero. I guess there's no downside to it. It doesn't say that I have to fight werebeasts and vampires. Just that if I do, then I get a benefit. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll just note down here. On werebeast/vampire hunt. If you kill, not only repel, it is -1 psychic drop. And 2 times. Get a hero badge. And discard a card from the bottom of the deck. And I also heal a point of fatigue by spending time here. What is this, like some Nightmare Before Christmas thing? This was the mummies, the Valley of the Dead Kings or whatever, and what you got depended on the number of cards in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 doesn't feel like very many cards, so I'll put this at the bottom of the deck. I will also... I'll get rid of this, and I'll put this at the bottom of the deck as well. And let's encounter the weird children. Wandering actors. As they are wearing expressive masks, they may surprise or even scare someone. But the big colourful ladder cart they are pulling is too typical not to recognise even from afar. They're just wandering actors, not monsters. You notice one thing less typical though, that they pull it and not horses. To hell with them, says a man who is most likely the jester of the group. But can horses even go to hell? Anyway, they'll at least get a serious beating when they return. No bloody way, Arnie. Your constant beatings are the reason they left. A big man, maybe the group's strong man, interrupts him. I'll break your real spine if you don't sweat on the honesty of your unknown mother that your filthy hand will never grip the whip again. Despite seeming rough at first, they treat you nicely, healing 1 wound to each and your allies, and 1 point of a psychic drop of your choice. Okay. No longer wounded or afraid, but I am still missing a hand. So long as so you want to repay them by providing horses for them. If you can't afford any of the following, you leave like an incompetent and ungrateful worm, giving degradation. Okay. I don't have. Yeah, give them 2 of your own horses. I can't do that. I only have 1 horse. Buy them 2 horses in a nearby town for 2 gold pieces apiece. I don't have that. Bring back their own horses. This will give me 1 wound and 1 fatigue. I guess I'll just take the degradation. So they help me and I can't do anything to repay them. Okay, these are the werehawks, and it's good if you don't have any battle gear. I do not have battle gear, so I think I get through these guys safely. And I'm not sure if I kill them or just avoid them. If I do kill them, I will be able to wipe out my degradation. So I'm going to encounter these guys. Here we have like a knight. And now I'll put that at the bottom of the deck. I'll put this in the bottom of the deck, and I'll get rid of this. Werehawks. They want my meat. So I get 1 wound for each piece of armor. Oh no, sorry. If you only have 1 leg or only 1 eye, they peck you to death. I'm fine. I have both legs and both eyes. I just have 1 hand. Okay, but it says I repel them, which is not sufficient. So yeah, I did not kill them, so I don't get to heal the psychic drop. But I got through a risk-free encounter, which is good. Okay, this looks friendly, this looks safe. So I'll put that on the bottom of the deck, along with this as well. Okay, should we go for the people or the whatever this is, like settlement, very sparse settlement, perhaps. Okay, people it is. Fort of the Satanic Church. Greetings, O traveller. Have you heard of our Lord and Saviour Satan? His real name is Lucifer, which means Lightbringer in Latin. See? Nothing to worry about. So take my hand and come with us. Brothers are awaiting you in the fort, says the skeleton in a monk robe while his undead brother is murmuring a prayer in nomine Satanas. They seem not willing to give you much space for consideration, if you want to join their church or not, but even if you are always eager to serve evil, there's still a thing to consider. Won't they want you dead in the end, as they are? Decide. Break through them and flee, acquiring 1 wound a magic weapon or shield can prevent. Also, on a horse or with a dog, you can do that with no harm. We have a horse, so we're fine. Or, let them initiate you into the darkest secrets of Lucifer in their fort, but flee before hardening your initiation while killing you. Take 2 wounds. And a blasphemer badge. Or we become undead. I think we shall break free. We use our horse, so we are fine. Okay, I don't much like either of these guys, but this person looks more aggressive. Let's get rid of him. So this will go on the base of the deck. Let's also put a village on the base of the deck, or town, whatever it is, because we don't have any money. And we'll go for this church. Contemplation. You have spent some time contemplating your own life, where it is heading, whether you do good things, and for what purpose. You have visited several of the most holy places, both Christian and even the more hidden or distant pagan ones. You found no answers and you feel a bit blue about it, but at least you've made your goals and expectations clearer. Choose how deep you go into the contemplation. The deeper, the bigger the psychic harm, but also the knowledge about your future steps. Choose only one option. Depression +1, lay out 5 cards from the deck to choose across. From the next 5 turns, you'll be choosing one card to play from it, one after the other, without discarding or moving to the bottom. That sounds bad. Regrets +1, mind disruption +1, as above, but with 6 cards in a rectangle with a 7th on its top. 9 cards. None of these options sound good. So for all of them, I set out a bunch of cards and then we play through them without discarding any. That sounds just bad because discarding is how we, whittle down the deck. I guess I'll just go for Depression +1, and we get 5 cards. Alright, well, we just have to do them. So this one we get the Companion. We get the Iceberg Hermitage. We shall get a Cheerful Philosopher as our companion. Then I guess let's go for this one. Guardians of the Holy Relic. A procession of grey-robed monks is heading the same way as you. They are suspicious and non-committal, but as you meet them repeatedly, day after day, having a chat or a small help here and there on the common journey through the harsh lands, they're becoming more friendly, and one of them, after you've shared a bit of drink with them, was even more talkative than his companions would like if they knew. He told you they were transmitting a holy relic from their monastery church to a bishop's cathedral. And maybe, rather than beer, it was a feeling of self-importance that brought this young monk to explain it to you in full detail, because he stressed how important this relic is. Now you are more able to understand some remarks and behaviours of the monks, and you soon realise that not all of them, if any, share the youngster's zeal. The older monks must be really upset that they shall submit the most precious thing that has made their small monastery so special to the wealthy bishop who did nothing to deserve another toy. So you don't need to feel too bad if you steal the relic when one morning opportunity arrives. You even feel they prepared this opportunity for you after the long secret talk they had at night. If you steal it, you get an outlaw badge. But I would get a vial with the blood of Saint Sebastian that can bring you back to life once. If I have an ally who can put it to my lips. Or I can consume it anytime to heal a curse odyssey. Let's do this. Let us steal the relic, so we have an outlaw badge. And we have blood of Saint Sebastian. So this brings us back from the dead. With 2 wounds. Or cure a curse or disease. Yes, Doom is happening. Hello, welcome. So I'm playing Doom Pilgrim, which is a game in which we have to make it through this deck of cards, which we are, we're getting there, without dying or going mad or something. And this one's going okay. We have 2 friends with us on our journey, and I've only lost 1 hand so far, so it could be worse. But speaking of losing hands, let's go talk to this man with the axe. Muse Hunter. In the wooded hills far from civilized areas, you meet a man of odd looks. He doesn't look bad, and it is the strangest thing. Good looks go hand in hand with a good voice. Indeed, his voice is very strong. Well, his whole body is strong. It must be, you think, because only the strongest man can manage to keep this looks in so harsh wilderness. I know. You think to yourself my voice should resonate through the splendid hills of the courts and not just amongst the trees for wolves and bears. But hey, muses linger out here, not just in towns, and I must hunt for them. You know nothing about these things, but he does not expect it from you either. This wandering Minisanger just wants to hear stories about your deeds, if there are some. Okay, sum up your hero points and trade them for stories. Okay, so good heart badge, we do not have any. Hero badge, we don't have that. Having defeated a lord, nope. Every fight you endured. How many fights have we gone through? So I guess 1 here, 2. 3. Okay, we've been through 3 fights. So that is 3 points. Every monster trophy received, even if already sold, +1, so we're on 4. Every 5 cards in the Your Past deck. Okay, that's... we have 2 5s. Oh, I've messed up the order. +1, so I think we're on 6 points. Every horse you have, I think we're on 7 points. So, ooh, for 7 points, we can get a Whistle of Awakening. During any event, you can blow a whistle to awaken from the nightmare, discard the card you're reading and nullify its effects, but each use brings +1 to confusion, insanity, and mind disruption. I think let's get that, because we have our philosopher friend, who I think we've just hit 3 turns. No, we're still 1 more to go. Who can heal our psychic drop, so we'll take this. I'll just put that here so we know what it is, because there's a bunch of effects. Whistle of Awakening. Right, okay, so now we have these 2 cards to look at. Old Lighthouse. This flimsy stone tower used to be a lighthouse, he says. It was in old times, before the sea vanished in the pits below the cliff. Now there is no sea, only mists, as far as you can see, he says. And you can see, but who is he? His name is not important, but his craft, oh goodness. The most ingenious mechanic uses the old lighthouse as his hermitage and workshop. It seems he wants to get rid of you as fast as possible, since he found you know nothing about the mechanics and geometry, so he's going to sell you his works very cheap. We don't have any money, so we can't buy anything. Ooh, I could sell him my horse, and he would give me an artificial hand. I think it is worth doing that, because the hand, if you lose both hands, it's game over. So let's do that. Let's feed him my horse. He'll give me an artificial hand. I gain a blasphemer badge, though. But that is 3 things, so he gets a healer psychic drop. Let's get rid of our depression. And 1 more card before we go back to like the normal play mode. An ice golem. There is a narrow galley around the rock before you. The only way through this mountain pass being blocked by a very sturdy looking ice guardian. You are trying to talk to him, but his responses are very cold. At least, this seems to be sure. He is not going to let you pass, but he will not make any problems if you leave. Trying to attack him with an ordinary weapon would be mere foolishness. Okay. I'm not insane, so I'm not going to do it. Only a magic weapon would let you prevail. I don't have a magic weapon. Monster trophy. Yep. Otherwise, not being a fool and not having a magic weapon, your paths are limited. Play the next card without a choice. Okay. Into the Quiet Castle. Oh no. This is what we got game over with last time. Alright. I could use my whistle to get rid of this, but let's see. So, I don't have any cursing. Yep, no, I would lose. So I'm going to blow my Whistle of Awakening, which means I wake up. This is all a bad dream. I discard that card, but I gain Confusion, Insanity, and Mind Disruption. Okay, back to the normal mode of play. So I draw 3 cards, and 1 gets discarded, 1 goes to the base of the deck, and 1 we play. Right. I feel none of these people could be friendly. I'm not sure about these people. I mean, okay, this one... No. I thought he was waving from him, but he's holding a pitchfork. This person looks more friendly than this person. I'm going to get rid of this. I will encounter these people and put these at the bottom of the deck. Doomsday Prophet, wake up, unworthy ones! The world is coming to its end. Soon you'll writhe in pain and horror. Poverty, distress, and woe will be your only loaf of bread. Kneel in fear and repent before it is too late. As you watch the shouting fool, you must think for yourself how he could even have travelled so long without being silenced by someone already. Maybe even vultures loathe such zealots and shy away. I don't want to put any grief on you, you answer ironically, but the world has already ended. You probably did not notice while you were rehearsing this theatre. All this bullshit you're talking about is already here, and it's nothing new. Suddenly, the freak starts cursing and spitting at you. He must have some disease. If you don't get rid of him quickly and elegantly, you will get infected. You can get off easily on a horse or by similar means. I don't have a horse. I fed my horse to someone. Otherwise, if you have a bow, throwing knife, or other means that could eliminate from a distance. No, I don't. If you don't have such means or don't want to be a killer, even the shortest hesitation costs you getting the hardest form of the rabies disease. Okay, I have rabies now. It's not necessarily the end of the world. I could drink this relic I've got, the Blood of St. Sebastian, to cure my rabies, but I'll hold on to that for now. I think that is enough to cure another psychic drop though, so let's get rid of Mind Disruption. Okay, right. Oh no. Oh no, I turned these cards over. I shouldn't have done that. Oh no. Let's just... Oh god. Let's put these back in here at like random points. Whoops. Okay, let's play the game properly. 1, 2, 3. I think we're getting to the cards that I've discarded previously, because this one we saw at the beginning, I think. I'm going to encounter this one. Discard this one because it's got monsters, and put this at the bottom of the deck. Cathedral School. It's never too late to get an education, especially if you can glorify God with gifts, or if you're a man of some status. I'm not rich or of status, so I guess I probably won't get much of this. The school by this cold cathedral has 2 parts. The inner one is reserved for the people of the church, and the outer one serves to prominent laymen. If you have no interest in education, or if you simply can't afford it, soon you'll get the feeling that you missed out on something very important that should have been part of your fate, and now you'll miss it. Choose one of the following and go on. +1 to confusion or degradation or depression. Okay, they'll give me 4 gold for a relic. But, yep, I guess I'm just going to take a point of depression. Because I don't have any of that right now. Okay, this one I needed something good to get the ally. I don't think I have the thing. But it's a harmless card, so I think I should take that one. And then I will discard this one and put this at the bottom. Okay, the Green Knights. Yes, need a good card, good heart, and a hero badge. I do not have that. Or a Blasphemer badge. I do have a Blasphemer badge. Also, you cannot have any curses, or a killer or saint badge, or any Christian relics, or an evil artifact. I don't have any curses. I do not have a killer badge or a saint badge. I do have a Christian relic, but I can drink this relic. I'll get rid of this relic to cure my rabies, and then get this companion. Okay, so so let's read the card in full then. Going through a deep misty forest, you meet a noble figure, a tall warrior, more like a god than a man, and there stands a majestic deer beside him. The deity addresses you with an unmanly, deep but not unpleasant voice. Don't fear us, O pilgrim of fate. Yes, you would be no match for the forces we represent, but we don't want to put harm on you. We believe that you might be our champion in the nowadays world that slowly forgets about the green. We had to restrain to the shadows of the darkest forests while the so-called god continues to confuse people's minds with fairy tales of sin and redemption. The true story is much simpler. Life and death, growth and decay, power and weakness. You know it the same as we do. So behold, this is Jelaniah, the dear god of Atlantis, one of the only few immortals and indestructible still living on this corrupt plane of existence. He will accompany you on your quest if you are really worthy. Let's just double check this. So you need either both a good heart and a hero badge. We don't have either of those, or a blasphemer badge, which we do have. Also, you cannot have any curse. We don't have a curse, or a killer or saint badge. We don't have those, or a Christian relic. We did have a relic, but I have drunk it to cure my rabies, or an evil artifact. Okay, so I get the deer. Riding the deer god. You are invincible in outdoor fights. Each time, choose the best fight solution a card suggests and ignore all harms, even non-physical ones, as he is a god. In other events, riding Jelaniah equals and surpasses the benefits of riding a horse. You also travel much faster, so draw 2 more cards each turn, and 2 more go to the bottom of the deck. Okay. So that's really good. Okay, so we're amassing a collection of nice cards here. So we have... You can't really see those, but whatever. So we have our Hermit Companion, who is slowly curing my mind. And that's another card gone by. We have my Magic Deer Companion, who will let me travel fast. And we have our Whistle of Awakening that we can use to discard any card. So we're now drawing 5 cards. 3 will go to the bottom of the deck. 1 will be discarded. 1 will be played. Okay, which card do you all think we should play, and which one should go to the bottom? Which one should be discarded? So we have like a relatively safe-looking like set of mountains or hills with like settlements on top. It's card 1. We have I don't really know what this is for card 2, some sort of outdoor thing, but again I'm not really sure what this is. Card 3, we have 2 guys, one of whom has a weapon. For card 4, we have a boat with a skull on it and a guy in it. And then for card 5, we have this castle or village thing with maybe a ghost in front. Okay, we shall go for the boats. And then which one should we discard? Maybe this one with the weapon? You know, weapon people are always dangerous. Oh, yes, it's the two thieves speaking. Yes, okay. Okay, right, we'll go for the boat. We'll keep this. Let's discard this one. And then these three go to the bottom of the deck. Charon Impersonator. The mists over the waters part, and the silhouette of a robed figure appears on the bleak horizon. Well, it is you. What a twist can a fate take? It was an idea of your drinking companions on an especially long night that buying a boat and starting a job as a ferryman would make a fortune at this place. But the stylization into Charon, who you knew from myths with all the skulls and stuff, was your own idea. For brave ones, this will be amusing and will earn you some more money. But for cowards or those with no sense of humour, it is a deal breaker, resulting in your financial loss, as the boat and permission from the authorities were not free. But are there brave ones in your world at all? Check cards in the Your Past deck. Every knightly symbol in the text counts. Okay. Let's have a look for knight symbols. We have no... Well, no, we have no knight symbols. I don't think so. No money. If there is no bravery, you lose 3 gold in the form of debt if you don't have enough. Okay, we are now in debt. Which I don't think has any concrete impacts, really. That was another 3 cards, so we get to mark off another psychic drop. Let's get rid of our insanity. Alright, draw another 5 cards. Let's get rid of these guys. And we'll go here because it's probably safe, and we'll put these at the base of the deck. Yeah, we are getting there. There's not that many cards left. We could still die immediately though. Okay, well-guarded passage. A line of steep mountains goes from the northern icebergs to the shores of the parched south as a natural and almost incrossable barrier between 2 kingdoms. Almost, as there is a pass. But it is heavily guarded by a system of forts, making the border uncrossable at all if one is not allowed. If you want to cross, you would leave behind the whole one kingdom for good, as the guards are not going to let people stroll back and forth just for fun. Conditions for crossing: paying 1 gold toll, having no killer or blasphemy badge, not being an outlaw. Okay, we can't do that. Oh, this would be so good. The effect is that all the cards that were put off for later to the bottom of the deck should be discarded into the box now. You can't return to those places. So this would massively skip us forward towards the end of the game. but I can't cross because I don't qualify. So, okay, I guess I come up to this fort and just can't make it across. But we're definitely getting close to the end now because we're getting I think we're almost entirely in cards that have been put to the bottom. Okay, let's get rid of... Let's get rid of this one because there's a monster. I mean, it could just be like we meet a knight, but I don't like monsters, so we'll get rid of that. I think we'll go to this because this was the Valley of the Kings or whatever, where you got something based on how many cards you had, and we'll put the rest at the bottom. Valley of the Dead Kings. Miraculously preserved mummies of ancient kings lie strewn in this desolate valley. Did a necromancer live nearby? Okay. Is there a necromancer in the deck? I don't think there is. I don't think I got that skull icon, but I'll quickly have a look. Okay. The Charon impersonator. That's got the necromancer symbol. Okay. If there is a necromancer card in the Your Past deck, this area serves as an outdoor laboratory of his twisted experiments. He is not here now to welcome you, but the undead kings are willing to take all the formalities on themselves. Oh no, this is terrible. Fight them, getting 3 wounds, from which you can prevent 1 if you have a magic weapon. 1 for every 3 pieces of battle equipment. Oh, I have my invulnerable horse. Invulnerable deer. I'm invincible in outdoor fights. Okay, choose the best option and ignore all harms. Alright. If you survive, which I do, and I don't get any of the penalties, you find a very nice ancient artifact, a throwing knife that counts as a piece of battle equipment in fights. Okay, I get a throwing knife. I guess since I've got this invulnerable deer, I should actually pick the more dangerous, like, aggressive cards, because I'll just be able to get through the fights if they're outdoors. But if it's an indoor fight, I'm out of luck. So maybe I will go for this one. You know, this one looks pretty scary, but I've got a magic deer, so I'll pick this card. I will discard... let's just discard this one. Put these 3 on the bottom. We're getting very close to the end of the game now. Maybe we'll make it. Orcs on a raid. This big pack of orcs looks like a good reason to step off the path and pretend you're invisible. If you do, they won't mind you as they're hurrying for loot. But if you have a hero or a saint badge, I do not. You have non-zero regret if you feel the need to fight them. I don't have any regrets. On the other hand, you can't fight them if your dismay or fear is non-zero or have no ally to help. I do have an ally. I don't have any dismay or fear, so I could choose to fight them. If you fight them, it brings you 7 wounds, which I would ignore. Yeah. Yeah, let's fight them. Okay. If you fight them, it brings you 7 wounds. I ignore those wounds. As a winner, you retrieve 3 gold. That cancels out my debt. A spiked helmet and a monster trophy, Orc fans. You can't really see this because I've moved it out of the way, but I'm jotting things down on here. However, there is also... a reward ahead. The next village, not a big town or city, gives me 5 gold, 2 wounds, and a point of psychic drop healed. Okay, so let's just note this down. Next village, 5 gold, heal, 2 wounds, psychic drop. Okay. Right. Man, we're so close to the end. Okay. This place looks safe. Let's go for this. Let's discard this, because this looks like a bigger than a village. We'll put these at the bottom. Peak towns. A small town lies on each of the peaks that have popped up before you as you stumble out of a hostile gorge. You desperately need to replenish your provisions, but which town do you go to? As you have no clue, luck decides. None of the mountain hikes will be easy, but you must undergo them anyway. +1 fatigue. Okay, fatigue on. Count the cards in the Your Past deck. Are they odd or even? So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, even. Okay. Now, is the title of the top card longer than the title of the bottom card? Or is it shorter, or are they exactly the same length? Okay, top card is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Bottom card is 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it is shorter. Okay, so we're on 2B. You can sell monster trophies here, 2 gold apiece, and buy healing. 1 wound for 1 gold up to 3. So I'll sell the Orc Fangs, I guess, for 2 gold. Sorry, I only have 2 gold. I don't have any wounds, so nothing needed there. Okay. We only have 5 cards left. Oh, well, I guess it'll be 8 after this. Okay, this one looks safe. Honestly, they all kind of look okay. I don't know, I'll get rid of the guy. We'll have the little house. Woodcarver's Cottage. You're greeted nicely in the hut of a renowned old carver, if you don't have an outlaw or killer badge or an evil thing visibly in your possession. I have an outlaw badge. So does anything bad happen? Let's see. No, I guess he just turns me away. So I'm unable to get a cool item. But that's fine. Let's check the rules. What happens when we actually run out of cards? Once there are 3 or fewer cards left, choose 1 final card and discard the others. I guess it'll be 5 or fewer cards because we have our magic deer that lets us move quickly. Okay, we have the 2 thieves who we can overhear. That's a safe card. Let's go for that. And let's discard that one. We can win every time outside, yes. Okay, so we witnessed the conversation between the thieves. We had that in the previous game. Oh, we got one card left. There are 6 cards in total, so not quite the last round, but next one will be. Okay, let's... I don't know, let's discard that guy. We'll go for... This could be a village, and we get a thing from a village. So let's go for this. Old Armourer. The austere fort on the hill is a barracks of infamous mercenaries, as well as the homestead of a famous armourer. But this old veteran does not trade with pesky civilians. Leave if you don't have at least 1 harm from fights. The more scars you have, the more he likes you. Subtract 1 gold from his prices for each organ missing and each wound you have. We don't have any missing organs or wounds. Also, I think I didn't mark things off there, so I believe we should heal another psych drop. Let's get rid of confusion. Okay, I can't really afford anything from him, so yeah. Okay. Okay, we're now choosing the last card. Is it this old man who could possibly be a lion? These two people, this outdoor location, not really sure what this bit is here, or this like fort on a hill. Which one should we go for? Okay, this one. Let's go for him. So we just discard the last few. And I think even if that goes terribly wrong, we can just win because we have our Whistle of Awakening, which lets us treat this card as a bad dream. Just another day. The old lady looks like an apparition, more of a skeleton than a woman, but in the end, that is not your problem. That's a woman? I guess that's a woman. That must be the skeleton woman. It doesn't seem to be a problem for her husband either. He is blind and a cruel smile never leaves his ugly face. Yeah, I guess that's the husband. I killed it! I killed it! I killed the whole egg around! The sun was low and I did it, but no one sees. There are no eyes, no, but I know, deep outside. A mysteriously looking creature from dark woods stands behind, sniffing. Yep. A cold morning breeze comes up from the ground. Your feet are cold. Time to move on. Just another ordinary day among ordinary people of your world. We did it! We got to the bottom of the deck. Well, a half-sized deck. It took us 3 hours and like 5 attempts or something, but we completed easy mode. Poor worm mode. Let's see, what was the state of our doomed pilgrim by the end? So we had Margaret. She had 1 point of fatigue, degradation, and depression. She was a blasphemer and an outlaw. She was on a werebeast / vampire hunt, but we didn't actually fight any. We evaded some. We drove some off, but that didn't count. And let's see. We had some weapons, not much. And we ended with let's see, 2 companions. So we had a cheerful philosopher who was living in an iceberg hermitage. We had Jelaniah, the deer god, who let us travel at great speed. And we had 1 great magical item with us. We had a Whistle of Awakening that let us treat anything that happened to us as a bad dream. So that was pretty good. We made it to the end. A very successful pilgrimage. And that is Doom Pilgrim. That's the game. There are some expansions that I've not got for it, I think. Let me check my list. Yes, so there's an expansion called Flails and Citadels, which adds, more cards. And there's also an expansion called the Little Black Bag, where you get like a little black bag that has tiles in, and these tiles just have like a short event on them, and the idea is you kind of alternate pulling a tile from the bag at random, kind of like taking a Scrabble tile out from Scrabble, and choosing a card. And the game designers also made a couple of other things of this style, so basically using the same system. There's a kind of sci-fi one, and I think there's an Arthurian one. I'm not sure if there's any others, but as I understand it, it's basically the same sort of thing, just kind of themed differently. But yeah, that's Doom Pilgrim. So it's good that we did manage to successfully do our pilgrimage. I think last time I streamed Doom Pilgrim, we didn't win. It was just doomed. All Doom, no Pilgrim. So that's it for today. On Friday, I will be doing more Ironsworn. We'll be returning to our new Ironsworn campaign. I won't be doing a stream on Saturday this week. I'll be busy going to an escape room and hopefully escaping and not being trapped forever, but I mean, you never know. And let's see. Anything else to share? Let's see. Some exciting news is I may at some point be able to show off on stream the beta rules for the 5 Kingdoms of the Ice Mark, the next, like the new game being developed by the creator of Morkin. He very generously asked if I was interested in seeing the beta rules. So I don't know when that will be, but I'll share those when I have them, and we can do a one shot of it. So that's pretty cool. And I don't think I've got anything else to bring up. Yeah. So yep, there we go. That's all the stuff. Let's see. Anyone is online who we could raid. Let's see. Hexy. Yeah, Hexy is online. Go raid Hexy. So this is Hecata Hex, who was one of the other participants of the Stardew Valley archipelago. So let's go raid Hexy. See, and she is streaming something for Gamers Outreach, so let's go there. So thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next time.